Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to get to wake up with all of y'all. So welcome. I'm so honored to be the one who gets to host this storytelling ritual for our first virtual Greater Chicagoland Pagan Pride. Greater Chicagoland Pagan Pride means so much to me. It's something that I've been attending for many, many years, hanging out. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do ritual last year with Laura Gonzalez and with Fraternity of the Goddess. And before that, I was bending with my best friend Dali, who we both were the two creators of what is known as Quema Bruja. We're Chicago Botanica, Papa Botanica, and we practice with all sorts of different brujas, different curanderas, different witches all throughout the city, bringing together folks who practice a lot individually. But you're going to see that we have the intersections between us have a lot to do with us focusing on our cultures and our traditions and all of those things, our ancestral practices that have been passed down to us. We share a lot of those practices, and a lot of them have very, very close intersections. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you here today. It's going to be very different type of ritual, maybe than anything you've seen before, but it is going to be a little invitation, a little home invitation. So normally I would be doing this in my kitchen, in my home, but right now I am in New Orleans. So I'm talking to you here from NOLA. So we're using the kitchen that I've been provided with. So again, I'm so happy that all of you are here, and I feel so very blessed to be able to share this moment with you. So very first thing that I'm going to do, I got a little bit of music going, right, to wake my ancestors. If you have your own music that you play, this is a great way to wake them up, to invite them in, invite them into your home. I'm inviting all of mine in as well. So you'll hear the music a little bit in the background. I might dance a little bit if you're lucky. And in our practice, and in our practices, the very first thing that we do is we always pour a little cup of coffee or a little offering for our ancestors, right? So I'm gonna pour one out for me, and I'm gonna pour one out for them. And I invite you, if you have your water, your coffee, your tea, whatever it is, to please go ahead, pour a glass out for your ancestors, your spirits, to go ahead and invite them in with us. Turn up a little bit. You gotta get that. For me, I gotta get a little bit of salsa in there for you, right? All right, I'm gonna come sit with you. Holy spirits and angels, ancestors and guides, I ask you to cast a circle of protection around us. Only allow through your energies and entities that wish to assist us in our highest good at this time. We ask that you allow through all energies of love, joy, positivity, celebration, abundance. We allow those energies into our lives. Allow the energy of community so that we can share this love and share this faith with one another. Actually, all right. That one, that cafecito, is for my ancestors. This one's for me. I need a little sugar for it, right? So the reason why I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to start this ritual and host it in the kitchen is because I feel very strongly that the kitchen is, when it comes to the way in which I was raised and the culture that I came up with, the kitchen is the meeting place, right? The kitchen is where we share our stories, where we share our remedies, where we share our recipes. You know, in my traditions, there is no book of shadows. There is no written, you know, script. There is nothing to read from. For us, it's all oral tradition. Everything is passed down by word of mouth through storytelling. So that starts for us in the kitchen. And I can assure you, in any Latino household, you're going to find, no matter where the party's happening, everybody ends up in the kitchen talking, right? The kitchen is a safe place. It's a place of security where we can share secrets. We can share, you know, the gossip, the chisme, the bochinche, like we call it. Uh, so that's where we share that information. But that stuff, those are rituals of protection. When we share our secrets with one another in the kitchen, when we share, you know, who's going through what, and we open up in those ways, that's how we protect ourselves. That's how we protect one another. So, and I just wanted to go ahead and add each of the elements. All of the elements are always present in the kitchen for us, right? So I poured my coffee out for my ancestors with the grounds and the sugar representing the earth and what comes from the earth. I also always pour my ancestors a glass of water. And that's one thing, whenever you're working with your ancestors, you're always going to begin with a very clean, clear glass of water. And you're going to light them a white candle. We allow all of the elements to be present with us as they are all within us. They move throughout us in the way in which our ancestors' DNA moves throughout us as well. So I was very resistant back in the day to being in the kitchen. I was a real dreamy kid, always with my head in the books or in the clouds. I always felt like the kitchen represented some kind of patriarchal standard. So I was resistant to being in there. And it wasn't until I grew in my practice, I grew as a person, that I understood the importance of the kitchen as the hearth of the home, as the heart of the home. The things that you learn in the kitchen, spending time in the kitchen, the things I learned spending time in the kitchen with my abuelita are things that I realized that even the simplest of things, like a soup recipe, was infused with so much love and so much intention that there's so much that can be learned from it. One of the first things that I actually learned from my Aunt Abigail back in the day. She was showing me how to make a dessert that we call arroz dulce or arroz con dulce. It's like rice pudding, right? And what it is that you boil it in a big pot on the stove. And I gotta get up to show you all. But she said that when you're infusing your intention into this pot, right? This pot of dessert that's gonna feed the whole family. Right, when you're creating that, she said that the real seasoning, the real sazon, the real sauce, the real flavor, right, comes from how you stir the pot. And she would tell me, you stir the pot with love, but you also stir the pot with your hips, right? And she said that that was how she fed her love to her family, right? It was by putting that extra movement, that extra love, that extra intention, and moving her body with it too. And you would always see her dancing around the kitchen. And I always thought that was a really beautiful thing. That made a big impression on me as far as how you put love into things. So you see me dancing everywhere. If you ever run into me, I'm probably dancing. So I feel like a lot of the storytelling that happens, a lot of the conversation that happens around the kitchen always has to do, you know, with the lives and the lives of the family, with everyone's lives. But that kitchen doesn't have to be specific to the family that you consider, you know, your blood relatives. A lot of the time, especially in pagan communities, in our pagan community, we create that family, right? And I found that that's something that I've been able to do here in our Chicago pagan community with all of the Brujas I've met, and everyone else too. All of you, I feel like we share that love together. We find where we connect, we find where we have differences, and we celebrate both. We celebrate our differences, we celebrate our similarities. So I hope that all of this is very resonant with you. I hope that it's something that you can maybe bring into your home if it's not something that you do already. Welcoming your folks in the morning, welcoming your people, offer them a cup of coffee, offer them some water. Activate all of the elements in a simple way in your home. And I feel like it's something that's always going to keep you present. And for me, it's a guiding force. It's something that leads me. So I trust that that's very helpful to you. It's still hot. That coffee is good. I don't know what they were talking about. It's good coffee. Okay. So lastly, what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and say a few words to honor each of the elements and honor our ancestors, honor our guides, honor everyone who has come in with us and who has joined us today. Again, it is such an honor to me that you all have allowed me to do this little bit and show you a little bit of love. I just want to share so much of that with all of you. Holy spirits and angels, ancestors and guides, we know you are always with us. We thank you for your presence. We thank you. We have so much gratitude for all of the joy and the love that you bring to us, for whoever is watching right now, whoever is watching in the future. I ask that you share that joy, that love, that abundance with all of them in your infinite blessings. Blessed be. Element of air, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your blessings. We know you're always with us. Element of fire, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your blessings. We know you're always with us. Element of water, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your blessings. We know you're always with us. Element of earth, we thank you for your presence. We thank you for your blessings. We know you're always with us. Great Spirit, Mother Goddess, Father God, all that is, all of those who fight for us, who watch over us, who protect us and guide us. We know you're always with us, and we thank you for your presence. Thank you all for sharing space with me, for raising energy with me. It truly means so much to me. My name's Charlene. I am la Bruja is how people know me, and that's also how they know our brujitas, our witches, and you'll see us around. But if you ever are in need of anything, or if you ever want to reach out with any kind of interest, please reach out to me. I'm la Bruja everywhere. That's QUEMALABRUJA. la Bruja. So I just want to give so much gratitude, so much thanks, and I hope that this has found you in good health and in good fortune. And I wish you so many blessings.